talking about Jesus in town, and they've arrested him. And I want everyone to know that they've arrested a man for talking about Jesus in town. Look how the government, the systems are against anything with religion.
I'll be back tomorrow.
He will.
For those of you watching, it's homophobic from the corner.
What, because he's talking about Jesus?
I'll be here.
Hey, brother, Jesus loves you. Don't worry about it.
You're too small. You're
Disgraceful, because he's talking about Jesus in town. He's got arrested. Scandalous. And that's what happens when you talk about the Spirit. But it's all right. The ancestors will be ready for him tonight. I'll be praying for him tonight.
Isn't it interesting how Christians are taking this would-be ban in England to the extremes? First of all, the ban in England has not went through. Matter of fact, it didn't go through. There is no ban in the UK and Britain against street preachers right now. Now, there are requirements if you are a street preacher. If you are a street preacher, you cannot be an obstruction of traffic. You also cannot have excessive noise. You can't trespass on the private property. And what you cannot do is incite hatred or riots. Now, if you listen to the video carefully, the police officer very clearly, if you're used to that accent, said that he is teaching homophobic, and he either say a propaganda or garbage. Either way, it works. But to preach propaganda against another group, in the same way that if a man was standing on a corner saying that all white people are going to hell, all white people are the devil, then that would be the same as saying all homosexuals are an abomination to God. You have the right to believe in what you believe. But if you were standing on the street corner and right now saying that all black people don't have souls and so therefore cannot go to heaven, or like the old Mormon teaching, that all black people, if they do make it into heaven, they will be the servants of white people. So if you were preaching something like that, and you're, one, preaching a propaganda, two, you are definitely in a situation where you are inciting hatred and riot. And so this young man is being taken to jail because he's inciting hatred, which could turn into a riot. And it's interesting that the young lady who was claiming that the police was so wrong, she did not say, I'm going to go down to the police station and make sure I bail you out, make sure you get free. No, she said, I'm going to go home and I'm going to pray for you. This is so horrible. This is so bad. It's such a travesty. But all I'm going to do is go pray for you. What good would that do? Not much. But the whole idea of street preaching bothers me. Although I believe that everyone has a right to believe whatever they choose to believe, and you should be able to pray whenever you desire to pray, as long as you're not obstructing traffic, being an obstruction within yourself and on private property, sure. But what I do not think you have a right to do is stand on the street corner and yell and scream out your religious belief and try to push it on to other people. This is supposed to be a country of religious freedom. And on the one hand, you have the freedom to be heard, but on the other hand, I have the freedom to not have to hear it in public spaces. I think that if a person wanted to be able to preach, then they should only be able to do it on their private properties. That if we truly have a separation of church and state, then on public property, the church would not be able to assemble and preach their gospels, their scriptures, their Qurans, or anything else. That if it's public property, that religion is not to be affiliated with the public property. So no, on sidewalks, you cannot set up with your purple Power Rangers tables and banisters and pictures and all these sorts of things. No, the preacher can't come out there. The Christians can't set up microphones and stand on the street corner and promote their religion. If you own a piece of personal property downtown in a city or a county, you can preach and do everything as long as you are not violating the noise ordinance or you're not teaching hatred and inciting a riot. But on public property, I do not think that you have the right. And I would hope that this thing goes through in England, because not just for any one particular religion, but for all religions. You do not have the right on public property if there is a separation of church and state. At least in America, they claim that. UK, y'all do what y'all do. But I would love to see this law come to America, because I would love to just go through downtown and not have to deal with Hebrew Israelites, or not have to deal with the Buddhist monk trying to give me some beads, and not have to deal with the Christians standing on the corner with megaphones, just to enjoy the peace of the public presence, and simply that. So y'all have a great day, and always remember, you have to free yourself to be yourself, because your greatness is non-negotiable. Good journey, good vibration.